Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. Market's been open for almost 15 minutes. I had a really good trade right at the open, a 1 minute opening, a reach break, which I'll show you. But I'm also going to put in the description of this video a link to my trade ideas scan that I've been using. That's been really helpful. I'll describe it later, but it pops up a lot of really good trades, and it actually acts as like a watch list for me throughout the day because I have it on don't repeat. So basically, a stock that fits the criteria right away will pop into that scan. That's very specific criteria, so I don't get a ton of alerts. Usually, the exception was the other day when everything was gapping on Monday, and it was a ton of alerts in there. But that can't be helped. Those are very rare exceptions, and on those days, you're probably going to have tons of alerts everywhere. But it's I'll show you the scan later. It's basically I call it a 2% gapper list. And it works really well for as a watch list, like I said. So if you don't take a trade on it early, they're very good stocks to watch because of the fact that they're gappers, so they could end up making late day moves, recovering. But this was one of them actually, Santander, and I think this was an earnings play. Yeah, so it was an earnings play. So it gets a lot of earnings plays popping into the list as well because of the fact that it's basically looking for gappers with volume. So as you can see, this would have been a great play here. It's right at 9:30, big topping tail to start the 1 minute candle there, but then it pushed past it with a big green bar, retraced back to VWAP. So it was a little whippy here, but look when it breaks this little level right here, the high of the pre-market as well. As soon as it pops over that, if you had gotten in right below 26, you could have ridden it all the way up to about 26.60. But even if you had taken it in here, if you thought, hey, my whole VWAP, I can get in at 25.62 or something around here, put my stop below VWAP, maybe a 20-cent stop, you could have gotten a $1 move on this 1 minute candle at 9:36. Basically a 5 minute opening range break too. So yeah, you can see here. And then it retraced back to VWAP. Now look, it's come back to VWAP, it's held it, and it's moving back up. So again, a stock like this might give you multiple opportunities. And on the 15-minute chart, you can see it formed a nice big green bar here. And if it holds that, you could get in here at 26.14, maybe, and put your stop below 26. But you'd have to be a little careful now because the market's been dropping a little. But the stock I did take was Penn. It's a gaming stock, and I'll show you. There it is. So this popped up in my pre-market scan right there, early in the morning. And this scan I used to just set my watch list, one of my watch lists early on for what to look for those early breaks, those early pops in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the market. And this one did not disappoint. So you can see in the pre-market, not a ton of volume here, right? But it was moving, right? Or it was gapping. So yesterday it closed at around, what did it close at, 26.21. Pre-market, it popped. It popped above the high here. And I don't know if this is an all-time high. I'm not too sure about Penn. If I look at a different chart, no. See, it's been up. It's been in the 30s before. Yeah, I remember the stock. I used to play this stock a lot as a swing trade, like 5-10 years ago. And if you look at the daily candle, so it had a pretty significant gap up and a gap above this recent resistance area right here. So that's why I took note of it, even though when you look at the 1 minute chart or 5 minute chart here, not a lot of volume, right? Around 8 o'clock, started getting a little bit, fooling around with VWAP, breaking below it, back above it. So I said, if it makes a significant move at the open, I'll consider getting in because it could make a decent run up, at least early. It looked like one of those stocks to me that could make a run up and then retrace, and it has done exactly that. So at 9:30, right before 9:30, at 9:28, this is always interesting too when you get a little bit of volume a couple minutes before. So it had a little pop here and then a little pop here, and it made its way up to 28. So I said, okay, it's got a whole number. I'm going to get in at 28. Let me open this up. I'm going to get in at 28. What did I get in at? 28.08. So I got in at 28.08. 1 minute opening range break. I said it's got a solid green bar here. And it's above the whole number of 28. So if I get in 28.08, I can put my stop down at around 28.90 or 93, that area. And that's what I did. And it actually came down a little bit. I got nervous because it broke below it, but it still came back and held. So I got excited because I said, all right, big green bar, another second candle green bar. It's making its way up. And then look what it did. Another big move. I took a little bit off here at 28.28 for a 20-cent gain. My target area was around 28.35, 38 area for the first target, my 2R. and then it shot way through that, and I wish I held it a little longer because it went all the way up to 28.71, but I took the rest of my shares. This was about a little less than half of my shares. I'm sorry, this was, yeah, a little less than half of my shares, and then the rest here at 28.51. So I got out just basically half my shares at 28.28, 20-cent gain, and 28.51. So it was just phenomenal move. I got 40, what was it, when I get in at 28.08, so 43-cent gain on the remaining shares. That was great. This is one of the best ones I've had in a while because I've been very careful with my trades. I have been kind of taking them out at my 2R and basically getting everything out if it starts to kind of fall and doesn't make another leg up. And so I haven't had a lot of chances to allow the stock to run and get a really big move on it. It went all the way up to 28.90. I mean, it almost went up $1 from where I got in. But you could see it wasn't a smooth move. I mean, when it starts to bust like this, you kind of have to start taking your profit. And with the shares I had, I didn't want to micromanage too many scaling out. I just basically scale out in 2 to 3 partials, because after that, it's just like I don't want to give up too much commission, even though it's not that much commission on IB, but I didn't want to give up too much just for this one. But you can see what happened then. Went up, spiked, made another attempt to go back up, and then fell back and broke below VWAP. Then it came back and held it. It'll be an interesting one because when you look at the 15-minute chart, so it had this big topping tail, and I just don't know if it's going to have enough juice to keep moving the rest of the day, or if it's going to start to collapse and come back down to that area where it was closing yesterday at around the 26.20 area. We'll see. Not sure. I'm done with this one. I'm basically just going to be looking for late day moves, really safe, ideal moves that basically that check off all those boxes. Say, okay, it's above this resistance, it's holding this line, and it has a little bit of room to move, and it's a recognizable pattern. I'll take that trade. But if it's not perfect at this point, because I've already made a decent amount of money to start the day, then I'm not going to take it. So we'll see. Good trade, Penn. Happy about it. There's a lot more that popped up in the list. So the list that I was showing you, this is that I was talking about. This gap was 2%. Basically, the criteria is, and there's a little bit more to it. See, it doesn't have that many. Coincidentally, the first stock that popped up on this list was Penn. Right away, like not even a second into the market, the first one that popped up. So basically, it'll only pop up once because I have a non-repeating on. So it acts as a watch list. So I can come back to this list throughout the day because these are stocks that are definitely usually going to be alpha stocks. They're moving, they're gapping, and they have volume. So it's got to gap at least 2%, but I also put a 75% move on it too, because I wanted to restrict it to those stocks that are, not too small. Like if it's like a 50-cent stock and it goes up to 80 cents or something like that, I don't want to see it. It's got to move up at least 75 cents to kind of narrow the list down. But a lot of these stocks, AMD was the second one. I was watching that early on. It kind of collapsed to start, and it's still moving down. I think it had earnings. eBay, another earnings. Not much to see there. You'll see when they gap above a certain area, that's when it's recognizable as something that could make a move. I think SC, as I already touched on, that big move there, it came up at 9:30. Could have taken it anywhere in here, like I said. So these are popping up in that first couple minutes. I like this. It's above VWAP. See if I can get back to the high of the day. Text was another one that I was watching because it gapped up. So yeah, this list is great. I'll put the link in the description of the video. Also, if you're interested in trade ideas, because if you don't have trade ideas, obviously you can't use the link. I definitely recommend it if you're looking to get into day trading. You can't day trade without it. It's certainly difficult to trade at all without it if you're looking for swing trading or position trading, because it's the best software. Like I said, you can get scans from other people like me, I get most of my scans. I alter them from other people's scans. So this one though I built on my own, so it's a great scan, and I'll put the link in there if you wanna mess with it, and then let me know if you make some alterations to it and you have some good luck with it. If you run some back tests on it and it seems to be doing well, send me a comment, let me know, and send me the link to it. I'll try it out as well and see how it does. But this, yeah, it's been working out. So I'll put it in the description if you like it. Let me know if you have any suggestions, what stocks you traded today, if there's anything out there interesting. I'm always looking to learn new strategies and how other people trade. So definitely drop a comment and let me know what worked for you today on this January 29th of 2020. So hope everyone was green. Good luck. Trade safe, and I'll be back maybe later in the day with another trade, but more than likely I'm just going to play it safe, and I'll be back tomorrow hopefully. Good luck.